Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another fantastic morning. We are right back at it on this great Thursday. It is Thursday, April 11th. Welcome back to the Daily Dose, the number one daily morning mastermind for those who want to elevate, grow in their personal, professional, or in your entrepreneur life. We'll hop right into the verse of the day. The verse of the day is going to be Second Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. Right? For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-discipline. It's all self-explanatory. Right there, it said it. The proof is in the pudding. We do not have a spirit of fear. We do not need to have a spirit of anxiety or fretfulness or anything like that because it's not in us. It's not what God has for us. Everything that we have comes out of power, love, and self-discipline. We got to have self-control. We got to have self-discipline, and that will help us to reach our goals and everything that we want to do. We have power to operate in this world. We have the ability to love in this world, and that will help us so much. It will help us tremendously in our path. It will help us to make smarter decisions when we act out of love, and it'll help us to be just examples of God, better examples of God as we go through life, right? And self-discipline, right? That's the number one thing that we all need. It's not easy to have self-discipline. It's a work in progress every single day. But if we can try to commit to it, we can we can be better. We can be better every day. Business topic for today is going to be leasing or buying a space for your business. Super important topic. Um, Super important topic, right? Because we can get into a scenario to where we don't know we should lease or we should buy a space for our business, and there are a few different things that we want to think about, right? For leasing, it's going to be a relatively quick process. You can probably find a building in 60 days or less that you want to get into. It's going to be less money up front. You're going to have to pay your security deposit, maybe first month's rent, but that's about it, right? That's about it as far as what you're going to have to pay up front. You might have to pay some renovation option. You might have to do some renovations, but that's going to be really about it. Um, if you want to do that, and I'll talk about that a little bit more later. It's going to be more options available for you to lease. There's always somebody trying to lease some commercial space for a business owner, right? So those are some of the pros when it comes to leasing a space. Some of the cons is that you have no control. But most of the time, as a small business owner, you don't have control. That's why I put depending on the situation, because if you are a large business, you do have control. For example, I know Food Line is like an anchor tenant in many shopping centers, and they can tell the owner like, hey, you can't lease certain businesses beside me. I can't remember exactly what it is, but there's certain businesses that Food Line will not allow to get leased near them. So you have no control when you're a small business. And another thing is small business, I mean, commercial real estate does not play by the same rules as residential real estate. So discrimination, all of that stuff is very, very prevalent, right? Um, they don't have to follow none of the fair housing laws. They don't have to give you a reason why they're not leasing to you. Nothing. So it's like I said, that's why I put that no control there because it can really, really seem like that. The next thing is going to be limited renovations. Number one, most of the time, if you do renovations to that building and you're leasing it, you're not going to get that money back. You just upfitted that building for your own purposes, right? You just did that for your own reasons, so you can have your business there, so it'll look nice. But when you leave, those renovations they just came straight out of your pocket. So depending on the type of lease that you have, the length of your lease, it might be wasted money, literally. So those are some things you want to think about whenever you're leasing a building. The next one is buying, which is I think is the best option for a business owner if you have the capacity to do that. Number one, you can have a permanent space for your building for a while. You can put that signage up, right? You can do that when you're leasing too, but when you have a permanent space, it's so much more. You can put signage up different places. You can go ahead and just do a lot more stuff. Um, Number two, income potential from leasing other spaces. So this is the kicker. Now you buy a building, don't just buy a single building. Buy a building that can split off into other buildings, right? Or to other sections that you can lease out to other businesses. It's such a major key. I know one person who have done it. He owns a barber shop. He bought a building. They had about 8 different spaces in there. One space he operates his barbershop out of. He leases all the other spaces to other business owners, right? So you don't just become a business owner, you become a real estate owner, and you're getting rental income from other places from just having a space from your business. It's a super play for when you do get into a business and you're operating. Just something to think about. Next thing is you have the opportunity to sell, right? Once the way commercial real estate works is once you have a building and you're bringing in a certain amount of income, the value is based on the income that you're bringing in, right? So if your business is doing well, all the other businesses is doing well. Let's say you find an empty building. It has, like I said, the example before, 8 different spaces for potential businesses. You in one, you fill it up. Well, when you bought it for a good price because it was vacant. Now you are in there, you have filled up all the other spaces, they're being leased out. Now, when you go to sell that building, you're going to make a lot of money because you have increased the value of it because you have cash flow operating through that business, right? And then the next thing, you can increase your business value. So once your business owns a building, that asset becomes a part of your business, and the value of that building also goes into the value of your business. So this can be very, very, if you want to bring on a partner, or an investor to your business, like you actually own real estate that's cash flow producing, right? And then the next thing is or you could partner with other people. So let's say you maybe know 2 or 3 other business owners that would want to do something like this. Y'all could find a building together and y'all could still have more spaces available to lease, and the cash flow would just be split between y'all, right? And y'all would split, the down payment and all of that type of stuff. But this is a super, super play, like I said, in my opinion, because you can definitely go up, and you can do a lot of things together that you might not being able to do by yourself whenever you partner with other people, but just buying a space in general for your business. I think that's the major play. The cons is that it is more expensive. Of course, you're gonna have your down payment, um, and things like that. There's gonna be upkeep that you're gonna have to do for the building when you become an owner. You might have to do a lot of renovations if you find a vacant building. Um, and then the next thing is it's gonna be less options available. But I'm gonna give y'all a tip. Commercial real estate is in certain asset classes are losing their value. One of the major ones is the office space. After COVID, everybody's like, okay, we can work from home. We don't really need to go to a building. So a lot of office spaces are vacant, which means their value is down and they're going to be on the market for very, very, very cheap prices. So we want to make sure that we're paying attention to that. Want to make sure that you're looking out for that because you could come up with an opportunity in that space, in that asset class for you to maybe go in there and transform that building into something else that could be a viable opportunity for you, and your business. So that's going to be some of the pros and cons of leasing or buying a space for your business. The self-development topic for today is going to be investing in yourself. We want to make sure that we are investing in ourselves. We can produce the greatest return on investment for ourselves. So we should invest in ourselves, right? So, and we can do this through a number of ways. Number one is going to be through self-care, and that's whatever self-care means to you, right? There's a broad, um, I guess, definition for self-care, but that's going to be um, taking time to spend with yourself. Maybe that's going out to eat alone. Maybe that's going to get a massage. Maybe that's like having a full spa day, right? Maybe that's just making sure you do your daily self-care, right? But whatever it is that helps you to feel good, look good, and you're able to be your best self, that's what self-care is to me. So make sure you invest in the self-care because that's going to help you to operate at your fullest potential each and every day. Number two is education. We got to stay educating ourselves. It's the most important thing. As soon as you start learning, you start dying. And that's a real fact. If you're not feeding your brain is no longer developing, and you start to lose it, right? It really happens like that. So we want to make sure that we are investing in continuous education, um, so that we can just stay abreast of the new things that are going on. I know that you it's funny because you'll see some people in the corporate world, they work, they might be like 60 years old. They know how to use the computer, they know how to use all the touchscreen stuff, they know all the different apps that's out. They just know all this stuff. They're working in corporate. But when you go out to maybe, I would say, just the regular world, and the average 60-year-old person don't even know how to send an email. So it's levels to it. And you want to make sure that you're always in the know, especially when we are becoming so technological advanced as a society, with all the new things coming out like AI, crypto, virtual reality. You just don't want to get lost in the sauce and left behind and not know how to use these things whenever they come out. Next thing's gonna be therapy. And that could be talking to somebody else or actually paying somebody for therapy, but you want to invest in a space to, and they could be talking to God too, invest in a space to um, open up and be able to talk about anything that you need to talk about. Like I said, it could be God, it could be a friend, or it could be a pay professional, or it could be a family member. But therapy, I feel like we all need somebody that we can open up to and just talk about our thoughts and share our feelings. Experiences. I am a firm believer that we need to invest in experiences. Experiences shape you as a person. It helps you to be more understanding of other cultures, and it just gets you to be a well-rounded individual. And by experiences, I specifically mean traveling. When you go to different places, you experience different things. Get yourself out there, do some things that you might have never done before or wouldn't do normally. It's gonna open up your mind so much, and you're just gonna be able to appreciate life so much more whenever you go out and you do some of these things. It's so important to have fun and to create experiences, because those things last in your brain forever, and then you can share that with somebody else. Number five, time with God. Invest in yourself by spending time with God. God is the source of everything that we have. So it's imperative that we spend time with God, to allow ourselves to charge up to the source and to get all the game and the sauce from God, right? Super important that we do that. It's gonna just help us. It's gonna help us. I would say spend as much time with God as you can each and every day. And that'll help your life tremendously. Yeah, it's helped mine. Number six is gonna be exercise. You gotta invest in exercise. If you're not exercising, it's like you're not. It's you just have to, right? Is your body needs it, your heart needs it, your brain needs it. It's so important for us to be exercising. You got to invest in it because you don't want to get older and then it's too hard to exercise. And unfortunately, it's a lot of situations like that in in the Black community where we haven't prioritized exercise. And I know it happens to other cultures, but I'm specifically talking about my experiences and our experiences where we put exercise to the side, maybe because we think it's not affordable. We don't go to the gym, or we think we don't have time because there's just so much going on in the day. But we don't want to end up 50 years old and we haven't prioritized exercise, and now we're dealing with a whole bunch of ailments. You're either gonna invest in exercise, invest in your diet, or you're gonna pay for pills, pay for surgeries, and pay for your health later on in life. Right? That's the give and take. And the last thing I have here is investing in career and professional development. So whatever it is in your business, whatever it is in your professional career life, you want to invest in that. Go to conferences, increase your network, take courses that pertains to your industry or whatever it is you do. Like we talked about, we want to be experts in our field. The only way we do that is investing in ourselves, investing in our knowledge, investing in the time that we put into the work that we're doing. So that's gonna wrap it up for our self-development. So just make sure you invest in yourself. These are all things that you can do to make sure that you are putting yourself first and really making sure that you are maximizing your fullest potential. But that'll wrap it up for today on the Daily Dose. Hope everybody have a super blessed Thursday. Finish out the week tomorrow. We'll be right back at it at 7 a.m. Everybody have a blessed one.